Scott Robert Greenwood, welcome to the Live on Form podcast. It's been quite some time since we've seen each other, but how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. So just to give everyone, I guess, a bit of intro on your background, Scott, really, and just how we met. So firstly, you're an artist, as you can see by your awesome work behind you. So you and I met probably maybe 2-3 years ago, and I a PhD. We were working with Bugzy Malone, and you'd just done an awesome bit of creative for Bugzy.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah,
and his latest album is his Be Inspired album. I saw that and then thought, right, PhD, we're working with Bugzy and a campaign, a Use Your Fear campaign. I thought, right, let's get together, do a bit of creative stuff, and you created an awesome canvas that I've still got up today, mate. So
yeah, man. Thank you.
Yes, I guess just a little bit about what you do, what your business is. I mean, just to reel off a few of the guys, I guess you've done paintings for so Bugzy Malone, the Kamanis, Umar Kamani, Harry Maguire, James Maddison, the footballer. These guys, a lot of celebs, mate. So just what's the business model and why did you start?
Why did I start art doing all this? Basically, since I was a little boy, I've always been into artwork. Just always drawing, and it's just something that I've always done. Like, I'd play football and stuff like that still, but then when I'd come home, I'd go into the back room and I'd just start drawing, kind of thing. So it's always been in me. And then I did it through school, did it through college, and then I've just never stopped. So it's just always been there. And then I just need some money. That was the main reason, in a way. I was just drawing, and then I posted it onto Facebook, and then people just started messaging me, asking me to draw the dogs and stuff like that. And then thankfully, I've always been a drawer, not a painter, which is crazy now, considering everything that I do is mainly painting. But thankfully, someone just come out of the blue and asked me to do a big painting. So I was just like, yeah, let's go for it, see what happens. And then I did that, and the reaction was crazy online compared to the drawings. So then I just thought, I'm going to run with this, because it's the reaction was so much better online, and obviously you can charge more, and it's just more impressive and stuff. And I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. So I just ran with it, and then just did not stop. I did not stop for years, just painting constantly every day. And then that's led me to where I am today in it. So that's kind of the short story of how it happened, in a way.
And it's a very new kind of model what you do. So I've noticed you also, you paint, you choose, you get some inspiration, and then you choose somebody to draw, and then you'll tag them. I guess social media's made your model, kind of perfect, right?
Oh, it's 100%, man. Because if you think like social media for an artist, it's like a gallery, but there's no limit on how many people can attend your gallery, and it's constant. Like, it's no matter what time of the day, someone can be on your gallery, in a way. Do you know what I mean? But your gallery is your Instagram page, or whatever social media platform you're pushing it on, and that. So yeah, definitely.
And who was the first celeb you did?
It was Umar Kamani, the owner of Pretty Little Thing. He was my first guy.
And how did you choose that? Where's your inspiration come from? I know you're big into music. I can tell you're big into music.
Definitely.
Sort of design and creativity as well. So is that kind of, do you just see people that you get inspired by and then decide, right, here we go, this is my theme?
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't actually have to be like music or anything like that. I'm into whatever I'm into, and I'm very much into just motivated people who achieve and go after things like that. I really love that kind of stuff. Very much into that, and Umar Kamani is one of those people. I followed him for a long time, way before, like years and years, on social media, because at the time I used to have a clothing company, and obviously he was doing Pretty Little Thing, and I just thought it's crazy how well and how big he's gone, everything that he's done. So yeah, and I just saw him on social media, and then when it came to it, it just comes into your head, and you're like, I'm going to do a painting of him. So then that's kind of how that happened. And that's why I chose to go for him as well. And plus he's Manchester based, which is where I'm from as well. So
yeah, so Manchester's definitely a theme that kind of runs through a lot of your art. So you know, you've done obviously Bugzy, you know, some Man United players, and you've done bits with Raheem Sterling as well. So, you know, is football a big influence, I guess, or is it just a case of these guys are pretty big and they're influential and, you know, and play a big part in your life?
yeah, basically, yeah, I'm very much into football. I am a United supporter. I watch every single game that they play. And also like that they seem to be interested in artwork as well. A lot of footballers tend to be like, I get a lot of requests and messages from footballers, and a lot of footballers like tend to follow me on social media. So yeah, that's kind of how it's gone as well. Not necessarily me forcing it, but it also comes to me as well. So yeah.
So I guess go back to where it started in terms of, you know, your love for kind of creativity and art, because you mentioned you're into football as well. So it's quite rare, isn't it? Because football is quite structured. I was a real big kind of sportsman as a young kid, and lots of football and rugby and cricket. And I kind of liked the discipline element and the regimentation of that, what that kind of brought to me in terms of, you know, training times, being there at a certain time. Sometimes as you got a bit older, you needed to get to bed because you had a big match in the morning. And that kind of competition thing, the element was a real big driver in my childhood, I think, and then kind of moving into adult life. But creativity can be quite different in that it's a little bit more chaotic sometimes, although there's a lot of structure around it, especially what seems in your role. I guess how did you manage, you know, you liked the football thing, but you liked the artwork thing. How did you marry the two? And I guess does structure play a part in your life,
Yeah.
even now, even now you're creative, or are you quite a chaotic thinker?
No, definitely structured. Every request that comes to me, I'm always like, it's in my phone, it's planned out. I give myself, for example, like 3 days to do a painting, and then as soon as I'll put it in, like starting on the 19th, and then it has to be finished on the 22nd. And as soon as it says the 22nd, I've already got like another request that's ready for the next time slot, which is another 3 days. So I don't give myself a break in between or anything. Otherwise, I'm very like habitual, and I need like a pattern to follow. Otherwise, I'll slop off maybe. But I run it very much like it is a business at the end of the day. So
Yeah, sure.
there is a lot of structure to it. And also like when going back to the football thing as well, like I am very determined and competitive and stuff. And the reason I'd say I was playing football when I was younger, a lot when I'd play football, I was very competitive. And like, say for example, if you're just playing on a field with just your mates, it's not an actual game or anything, and it's just like one man kind of thing, I was still like, everyone would be like, call you a try hard, because you couldn't have fun. You wanted to score and win and constantly like that. And I used to play football all the time. Like sometimes it'd be like 4 times a week for different teams and stuff like that. But obviously it's a very difficult sport to actually do something with as like a career or something. And for me, artwork, I excel in a lot more compared to everyone else in a way. So that's just seems to be the right path. And yeah, I just fell into it. But yeah, to go back to the structure thing, very, very much a structure. You're not just an artist doing what I do, you're also like the marketer. You have to answer all the emails, the messages. You have to promote, you got to be the promoter, you've got to be everything. And yeah, you definitely need like a big you need to be disciplined, very disciplined to be doing what I'm doing. Because obviously there is sometimes that I don't feel like I want to do it, but you still do it anyway. Because again, going back to the plan of where I've got 3 days to complete something for someone. And also a lot of the time I will actually tell the customer, like, I'm starting on this day and I'll be done by this day. So
Pressure.
I know, yeah, I feel like I have to live up to that and deliver on the day that they kind of need it and stuff like that. So yeah, that's that.
So what's a day like? So you've given yourself 3 days, Scott, and you've got a big 1.5 by 1 meter piece to paint for somebody like me who only gives you 3 days.
Yeah.
What's a day like? You know, I'm assuming you're working in a phased approach, so you're structuring, you're taking breaks. What do you do? What do you do to stay clear of mind? How do you manage, clarity? How do you keep your focus? What's your nutrition like? What's your sleep like?
Okay, so my sleeping pattern's probably very different to a lot of the people that you probably got on here. But I would say I work a lot better when it comes to the artwork later at night. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It just happens. I could be sat there in the day and I just don't feel that urge in a way. But then when it's a bit darker outside and it's nighttime, it just comes to you. I don't know why. So I tend to wake up dash get up at about 10 o'clock, and I can be painting until like 2 a.m. 3 a.m.
Oh, okay.
But I do agree that like your sleep pattern's very important, and I know the benefits of getting up really early because I did used to do that at one point. But this just seems to work better for me. Structure wise, I usually get up, obviously get ready, have breakfast and everything like that. And then I usually sign prints because I also sell prints of my work. I'll sign, package, and then post all them. Come back, have a bit more food and stuff. Answer a lot of messages on social media, and also I try and post stories onto Instagram like every 2 to 3 hours, and then I usually paint from about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock until late into the morning dash nighttime. Break wise, I'd say it's just more so like I'd probably say it's like every 2 hours. Probably when I try and do a story on Instagram, I tend to like sit back, go on my phone for a bit, and throughout the whole time, even when I'm signing prints, I literally I have music on, and it's usually music that's very. I have a playlist. I don't listen to sad songs ever. I don't listen.
Yeah,
I really,
wise man.
I just can't. I realize as soon as I have a sad song on, even if I like it, I already like it's like self-awareness. I just know I can see my own thoughts, and you can just tell how your mind's starting to shift and you're starting to think about other things. Like if it's a sad song, you might start thinking about a girl, and I'm just like, no, I can't have that.
Can't go there.
Nah, man. So I always listen to motivational songs like Bugzy. He's one. There's a rapper called Russ, who I'm a big fan of, man. All his music.
That's the guy with the long hair, right, and beard.
Yeah, he's all his music is very inspirational, motivational, chip on your shoulder kind of music. And I've done a painting for him as well, so that's another I have another connection with him. So that's kind of music that I listen to. But yeah, I think did that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so, mate. Yeah. And are you doing anything specific to keep yourself, because you say you benefited from getting up early before, but ultimately the most important thing is routine and the amount of time you sleep in. So it sounds you're still getting 7 to 8 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Your routine has just developed as your business has developed. So you feel more creative late at night. I wonder if that's because there are less distractions, less sonic distractions, less chance of getting a WhatsApp, less chance of getting disturbed by social media. So I wonder if that's the time when automatically your cognitive ability, your mind has kind of switched off and started to relax and find a bit of downtime. So I wonder if then that gives gives your creative ability time to almost like, right, I can relax. Like when you go away, I don't know, I used to get it. If you are running a business and going away on holiday and you turn your emails off, once your emails off or the day finishes, right? So you're not getting emails buzzing in that require immediate attention, or for instance, over Christmas or over time when everyone's on holiday, when you know that regular day-to-day thing is not going to be interrupting your thought process. I wonder if almost the nighttime thing for you is almost like a validation that you can really kind of concentrate now.
Possibly, it might have a bit of that to do with it, but I don't know. It's just a vibe, as weird as that might sound. Because to be fair, like messages, WhatsApp and stuff like that, I'd say I get a lot of them at night still.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah, because I'd say a lot of people.
Bang goes my theory then, mate. Just tell me I'm talking shit.
No, you're definitely right. But yeah, a lot of people are on social media at night, so they'll see like a new piece of work that I posted or something. So then they do message. So I don't know. But
Not like me,
I'd say,
not like me. You see, I'm in bed. I'm in bed at night time at 10 o'clock. I'm not. I don't have the staying power when I've got 2 kids.
Yeah, man. But with the getting up early and stuff, that's more so when I was playing football, and I used to go to the gym. Gym was a very big part of life for me. And I tried getting up and doing the morning thing, working out in the morning, but even then it didn't work for me. But I'd read all these books. Like I've read a lot of like self-development books and all that kind of stuff. And it says about the benefits of getting up early and everything like that. And it also says like to be successful, you have to get up early and all this stuff. But so I really did try it, but it just didn't work for me. And I'd say also those books, a lot of those books are wrote like in an old time, whereas now you don't have to get up early to benefit so much from it and make all this money and stuff like that. I think because of social media and it's a 24-hour thing, you can be just fine, getting up when you feel right.
I think there's definitely a lot of variation. There's a lot more variation now. So getting up early used to be, I guess, if you're working a traditional 9 to 5 day, or your business is a more of a traditional business, and then you're up early and you can do things that create great habits that make you feel focused and aware early morning. Like I used, when I was really in the thick of running my business, I used to be, it was quite a stressful role, right? So I used to find that if I got up early, did all my exercising, all my training, and some thinking, whilst maybe walking the dogs, then that really helped me kind of get the things that I wanted to get done out of the way early. So I knew if I didn't exercise or train early in the morning, I'd be thinking about that all day, and I'd be worrying about where I'm going to fit that in, and that would bring me anxiety. I know it would make me really anxious as to when I'm going to fit that training in. So I got it done early. So ultimately, whilst I knew it was hard and I was stronger and maybe preferred to train later, I just knew that my day would get away with me, and if I didn't do it first, I wouldn't feel able to, I guess kind of do that day's work. And then you find yourself, you need to go to bed early if you're getting up early, because you're still getting the same 7 hours sleep, so you're still getting your your kind of cognitive and your mental recovery. You're still getting all that, your physical recovery. You're just doing it at a completely different time because your body clocks body clocks changed to adapt to your circumstances. So what you mentioned the gym. Are you still training?
I'll have to say no, I'm not.
What about any movement at all? Are you getting, you doing any movement? Are you doing any yoga or any running or walking or anything? Bending down to the fridge? Or
I'd say I am pretty like active anyway. I think even when I move about just in general, I'm a very much like I don't know, jump about kind of person in a way, I guess. So music's always playing and stuff. So
I see dancing, mate. Right? Okay, so you're doing so you're doing a dance or a lunge across from one painting to the next.
Yeah, man. To be fair as well, with lockdown stopped because I still do play football, but I just play it Monday nights. But yeah, I used to go to the gym. It had to be done. I was very much like 5-7 days a week. Back in the day, I used to play football, and then I'd even go to the gym after I've played football, all that kind of stuff. And I was very much on it with my nutrition as well. But then as soon as it was when I posted my first ever painting, and I got all these requests, like it just took over my life. And in a way, it was my main focus, and I was so tunnel vision with it. Everything else in my life just stopped, and I just went full force with the paintings and stuff. And I think I had to do that, otherwise me personally, like in my own head, I think if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be where I am today at the moment. So the fitness and the nutrition, everything did take a back step, especially in the first year of doing what I do.
So there's still a real single-minded approach to what you're doing. Your kind of approach is, if you don't do it single-minded, so basically anything else that was taking your mind space up needs to be pushed to the side for now, because you believe you've got a single-minded purpose to drive what you're doing now as far as you can do.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
And any other forms of kind of balancing? You doing any kind of, I don't know, do you do any meditation? Do you do any reading? Do you do anything that I guess takes your mind off what you're doing?
I do like to watch movies. That's a big thing. I don't do it very often, but downtime, watching a film and that, it does it for me. I have read a lot of books. I haven't read one for a little while though. The last book I probably bought was Russ's. Russ released a self-development, self-help book. So I bought that. That was very good. But yeah, at the moment I'm not doing any reading. Yeah, just watching a film will chill me out enough.
And what kind of films are you into?
Very much action adventure. I'm very like Marvel kind of fan. So I like anything like that.
So going back to getting into art, then you mentioned you did a little bit at school, but so when did you first decide? And then you also started at a business outside of art, right? So I guess tell us a bit about, your progress from school, I guess, into art, and then I guess when you started your first business, what that was, and what happened there, and I guess what it's taught you.
Yeah, sure. So from school, when I just finished school, I got like an award from the council for achieving so much and excelling so much in artwork. I went into college. I did art at college as well, obviously. Did well in it there as well. And then when I kind of finished there, that's when I discovered self-help books and self-development, and I became very obsessed with it, which is when I became obsessed with the gym and all that kind of stuff. And then I went and I did some modeling for a company, and I worked for a magazine company. And then it was a very 9 to 5 kind of job, and that doesn't excite me, and I didn't like it. And that's when my best mate actually came to me and said he wanted to start a business, a clothing business. And at the time, it wasn't when everybody was having a clothing line. So yeah, and then I just went with that, quit my job, started that. It didn't kick off as quick as I thought it would. And then I had to get a part-time job at Tesco, carried on grinding out with the clothing company, and it did okay. Like, it was doing well. We went into Foot Asylum and stuff like that, stocked in around the UK and everything.
Wow, pretty big then.
Yeah. And at the time, again, it was when not every clothing brand was in Foot Asylum. It was at the start of things like that. So it was doing well. So I quit my job again. And then and then we had a mishap. We had a problem with the manufacturer, and we were meant to release a new collection, everything for spring and summer for Foot Asylum, but it was all delayed because of the manufacturer, and it just, yeah, it did a massive step back for us. And then that's when I went back to drawing. Because I was like, I need some money, because I quit my job as well. I just needed some sort of money. So that's from going back to the story, what I told you at the start. That's when I started doing the doodles and stuff. And then that's when someone messaged me saying, can you draw my dog? And then that's how it happened from there. I'd say throughout my life, like the clothing company, I'm very much a person who's like, I'll just do it. As soon as I have an idea, I just want to do it. And I just straight away start working on it. I'll create the Instagram, I'll create the logo, all within like one night. I speak to other people, and they take so long to do things. Whereas in that one night, I will have already started the business, the social media pages, contacted someone for the website, and you know what I mean? Just get working on it straight away. So yeah, with the clothing company, and also my best mate, very, very similar to me, even probably more so that kind of personality. So it worked really, really well. And I'd say you learn from every kind of experience. With the clothing company, I don't know, it kind of came natural to me, and I learned how to deal with people, with the customer service. I was very good with that, dealing with people, and being like very kind and stuff like that in messages. The customer's always right kind of thing. So, and also like delivering on time, posting orders every single day in the morning. If they order at certain times, like, it has to be there for them the next day and stuff like that. Again, so I guess it's like self-discipline. So yeah, and then like I said, that kind of led on to the drawing, and then here we are.
So moving on, so what was the clothing company called?
It's called Transpire Clothing, which we did sell the company to one of my customers. He requested a line from me, and then I spoke to him about it, and they were interested in buying a clothing company, and obviously we had one, so we did some meetings with them, and then we actually sold the company, and it is still alive today. But because of COVID, they have not been able to drop the first release and stuff like that. But it's meant to be coming February this year, I think it is. So.
And any plans to go into another business, whether it's clothing or, there's definitely so many more opportunities now around kind of, creative pieces. I know you've done a few pieces for, pretty big businesses, right? So you've done some collabs with Puma. You obviously did the PhD thing. You've done other bits I've noticed as well. So just, I guess, tell us a bit about, firstly, any other plans to, I guess, branch out your creativity into a different field, whether it's clothing or anything to do with, sort of footwear, and then how did the collabs come about?
Plans for anything else at the moment, I'm still very focused. I'm not very good at dividing my time up for things. Otherwise, it does want they outweigh each other.
Yeah,
that's why
you're focused.
Yeah, I can't.
I get that.
At the moment, I seem to not be able to do that. Like, it needs my full attention still. So I know in the future I will definitely do other stuff. But at the moment, it's not for me at the moment. The collabs, again, it's just social media. Puma, they're managing. He manages the sports side of it, the sport influencers and stuff like that. He messaged me on Instagram a very long time ago, to be fair, wanting to do some sort of collab with Puma. At first, we were discussing, football boots and stuff like that. But we couldn't figure out a way of how I could do some sort of design that suits the football boots and stuff. And then eventually he came back to me a long time after, saying, we want to do some paintings for the players, because Liverpool had just won the league. So they had some of their athletes, their sponsored athletes, play for Liverpool. So I did a couple pieces for them, collaborating Puma's logo and stuff like that into the background, with the Liverpool players holding up the trophies and stuff like that. So that's how they came about as well.
Any more collabs planned?
Off the top of my head, I probably have. They're just in my notes though.
Yeah.
I can't even think. I can't think that far ahead. I just focus on the schedule at the moment. I just finished that Blue Eyed Lion
awesome,
for someone. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
Awesome. And what's your favorite piece you've worked on, and why?
Difficult. Such a difficult question. I actually get asked that quite a lot. I think I give a different answer every time.
That's all right, because you're keeping people happy, mate. That's part of your customer service and your cheerful disposition.
I love the Disney, the rich Disney characters.
Okay.
Because I'm very much into Disney. I also love the rich superhero ones because I'm very much into superheroes. So I've got a Louis Vuitton Spider-Man, and to be fair, I like my Mickey Mindset guy here, which is, it's about he's split in half. One side of his face is happy, one side of his face is sad, but he's still in the same situation, the same position where he's got money behind him on both sides, and he's wearing the same Louis Vuitton outfit and stuff like that to show that you can be happy and rich and sad and rich. Like, it completely depends on your perspective, your perception of everything around you. So yeah, I love the rich Disney characters, but I love the lions and stuff. So I can't. It's difficult, man. I can't pinpoint one thing, one painting that's my favorite. Yeah, I don't know.
And is there any celeb that you've really enjoyed working with? Anyone whose reaction, I guess, has really kind of stand out? I mean, everyone's going to be blown away by your work, right? But I guess some take it more in their stride than others. But any particular, celeb's reaction that's really kind of excited you, and I guess giving you even more inspiration to stay on that kind of single-minded path?
Probably my earlier ones, like Umar Kamani was my first one, which at the time, obviously, I'd never done anything for like a celebrity kind of person or a very well-known person. So when he first saw my painting and stuff like that, and he said that he'd meet me, I couldn't believe it. And it was kind of like, it was motivational for me. Like, yo, this is the right thing that I'm doing. Yep. Keep going.
Yep.
And then when I actually met him and stuff, proper nice guy. I spoke to him, and he helped me a lot as well. Like, he put me in touch with Rio Ferdinand, and Benjamin Mendy, a couple of people like that. Bugzy Malone was my next celebrity kind of person, and his reaction was great because I don't know. I was just buzzing. He was my second person, so I still had that thrill
Okay.
of when someone big like messages
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And he messaged me like, I love this and everything. And then he also asked me, is there any other pieces available? Marilyn Monroe piece and a Salvador one. And then he said, I'll take them. So again, like at the time, that was incredible for me. And then I knew I'd be meeting him as well, which I was buzzing to do. And he invited me to, when I went and met him, he was performing in Manchester. So I got to see him live as well and everything. And when I met him, he was a proper nice, really nice guy. And you could tell he's very much into artwork. You could already see that on his social media beforehand. And some of the lyrics that he says in his songs, famous one where he says, paint pictures with lyrics, I think he says. So, and he always refers back to famous, iconic like painters and stuff in his songs as well. So, so yeah, probably for the like the wow factor, yeah, it's probably Umar and Bugzy. They were and then Russ as well. Russ was a big one for me because I was such a fan of his music, and he's helped me so much through a lot of stuff because of his music, so motivational. And I've literally listened to him. I got, Spotify's where it gives you the stats each year. It tells you what songs you listen to the most and stuff like that.
Yep.
And with Russ, I am 0.01% of his fans. Like I'm in the category of who listens to him the most.
Listen to a lot of them,
mate. A lot. And obviously I listen to music constantly because it's on throughout every single day, like from morning till night. So I listen to a lot of music. So yeah, I'm a big fan of his. And then when I got his message, I didn't expect it whatsoever. So yeah, I'd probably say Russ, Bugzy, and Umar. They're my three main guys. Due to reaction, because I want to mention James Maddison a lot because he was such a nice guy and he's helped me a lot as well.
Good player.
So he is a very good player. So I just want to put him in there as well because he was a proper nice dude. So yeah, go for them.
So a lot of those, so certainly those three, Russ, Bugzy, and Umar Kamani, really entrepreneurial mindsets and creatives. There's obviously something about that, starting your own thing but being creative at the same time that really kind of inspires you because you're drawn towards those kind of characters. So I guess being entrepreneurial, that comes from not wanting to do a 9-to-5 job and being quite a self-starter and sort of disciplined. What was early life like? So did your parents do regular jobs? What were those foundation years like, I guess, and did you see a lot of creativity or was it quite different, and did you grow into being creative?
I come from a very normal family. My mum's not captain. She's an air hostess, cabin manager. My dad worked in a car garage, and then my sister's gone on to be an air hostess as well. Yeah, very, very normal kind of family growing up. Again, I was just always drawing. Like when I was a kid, I'd have little drawing competitions with my granddad and my sister and things like that. I really have just been drawing like all my life, but I don't know. I've just always, regardless of the art and the clothing company and stuff like that, I've always wanted to, in a way, I think you have to have some sort of ego to achieve a lot like big in a way. You have to see yourself in a different way to everyone else is seeing you at first. So I think I've always seen myself in a different way to what I might have seen in what was already in reality at the moment. And I've always wanted to achieve big. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's just always kind of been in my do you know what I mean? I remember when I was in college, at the start of college, at first I wanted to be an actor. I don't know. I just always wanted to be something in a way. So yeah, that's that. I'm not sure what the question was.
So is that a status thing? Because I think whether it's good or bad, most people, especially men, chase status, right? Whether that's they use their status for good or bad, and for some it might make them bad and sort of power hungry, but for others, status is a big kind of reason and a big purpose, right, for being for being here. You can use your status to be a really good role model, to be a really good
Mm-hmm.
influence on a lot of people, but it's still kind of a real driver in your life is to do something that gives you a status that is respected and well liked and admired. And I think that's a lot of what social media seems to offer a lot of people, albeit sometimes they chase status for onerous means, or maybe not for the right reasons. What's your plan? How old are you now, Scott?
25.
So you're 25 is, you're young. I mean, I didn't start my business till I was 28, my first business. So what's your plan? Have you got any lofty plans for where you want to be, for a big kind of purposeful goal as to by this time I want to be here? Or is it just a case of you're single-minded, your head's entrenched in this particular moment in time, and therefore you want to see how far you can take it?
I've always just I've just wanted a nice life. I never want to be like really in need of something. I'm not particularly like very flashy. I do wear stuff that's like no names, no brands and stuff like that. But one of my biggest goals is one of the things that I say is I want to create one of the most expensive paintings in the world, but not the selling of it, more the actual cost of me to make it. So that means like it'll cost me millions to get the materials, the diamonds and all that kind of stuff. And then it obviously will sell for a lot of money because it's cost me a lot of money to make it. So that's a big goal of mine that I want to achieve at some point. Before, I don't really want to say an age on it, but say for example, I want to be in a very good position by the time I'm 30 anyway, which is in 5 years. I'd say a big driving force for me is I do think very much about the future. And like I said, I don't want to be in a position ever to feel like I need for something or I can't provide for someone, whether that's like my family in the future when I have kids and a wife and stuff like that. But also my parents and my sister and stuff like that. I also think about them. And I think it'd be horrible to not be able to be in a position where they need something and you can't give it them. I don't like the idea of that. And I do also have needs, like there's certain things that I do want to achieve, because I think for all we know, we do only have like one life, and why would you not try and get the very best that you can get? Whether that is materialistic stuff, which, come on, we're like all human. You do want nice things. So I do want like a Lamborghini at some point in my life to do you know what I mean? Go on private jet, something like that. There is materialistic things that I want to do in my life, which I think there's no harm in wanting to do that. Just to experience things like that. Again, you've only got one life, so you should want to do the very best that you can. So that's like the driving force, I guess. Maybe there is a bit of status thing in it where I do want people who there's like a chip on my shoulder where I want to prove people wrong and prove people like I can actually go very far with what I want to be and what I want to do.
What's caused the chip on the shoulder? Because I think that's a really interesting trait shared by a lot of people. Certainly people who'll be on this podcast and people I find inspiring. They've always had a kind of a chip on the shoulder, and it can come from different locations. It can come from different times in their life. It could be, from childhood, if they were, born into having not very much. It could be from school when they were told they couldn't do, certain things. It could be from, bullying. It could be a lot of things that, that put a chip onto a shoulder. I also think it's quite a northern thing.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, maybe not. Listen, maybe that's just me being, kind of parochial or a little bit generalized. But I don't know. Is there anything that's really giving you that chip to prove people wrong? And who are you proving wrong?
I think throughout all my life, I'm a very sensitive person. I take everything personally in a way.
Okay. You need to get over that.
Not necessarily like everything personal. Like if I don't know you as well, like I don't care what you think. But like if say for example when you've got mates who it's just banter, it is just banter, and they'll say certain stuff. But even though I'll take it as a joke, but still it will actually
Think
hit
about
me
it.
in some
Okay.
yeah, it'll hit me something, and I'll think, oh mate, just wait. You know, that's the kind of I think. Yeah, I've always been like that in a way. Um, in school, um, I wasn't that good academically. So I guess you do think like you're not worthy in a way when you're in like. I was in bottom set for a lot of stuff, like maths and BTECs and everything like that, science, all that jazz. But I wouldn't say it wasn't because I wasn't capable. I just was not interested whatsoever. So I didn't try. I just used to draw in the classes, draw my arms constantly and that. So
That's worked out all right for you, mate. Don't worry.
yeah. So yeah, I guess you don't feel like you're not good enough, but yeah, you just don't think. I think yeah, I think that's where the chip on the shoulder maybe come from. School, because I can't think of anything
Well,
that's
it's
made
just,
me be like that.
yeah, I guess it's just something, I mean, passionately striving is a big part of life, right? And, whether you're passionately striving to own something, like a supercar, or whether it's, just passionately striving to be the best in business, or just build a bigger business, or just to do something better each day, or just to be more accountable, or just to do, just to be there and, kind of do what you're doing. There's no apologizing. There's no need to apologize for that. I don't think. I think a lot of people seem to, if you seem to be striving for something, then it seems to be a materialistic goal, and that seems to be
Yeah.
looked down on. But for some people, that just gives them purpose,
Hmm.
a meaning. But at the same time, it's giving them accountability. So it's making them
Yeah.
responsible. It's making them accountable for how they act and their relationships and the work
Yeah.
ethic and how they treat other people and what they do on a daily basis. So ultimately, it's making them get their house in order. So they're concentrating on being I guess being the best they can be. And it sounds as though you're absolutely doing that. So yeah, what about nutrition? I'm big into nutrition. Nutrition's been my life really. And listen, I don't eat perfectly all the time, and it's not about that. It's about just making good decisions for me most of the time now. And I'm almost double your age, mate. I'm 48, 45 soon. So for
Right.
me, nutrition's been a big part of my life for almost 30 years since I started the gym, and I just use it now as much as a mental wellness tool as a physical one. I mean, training and staying in shape is still really important to me. But you're not going to the gym, so I guess if you sat there eating sugary crap all day, you'd be asleep. So you must pay
Mhm.
some attention to your nutrition. And I guess what's that like?
Yeah, I pay for a meal prep company, to
Okay,
do my meals. It's also like time management and stuff. I
okay.
prefer to get them because then they make your meals for you. So again, that's a big part of it as well. Like I don't want to spend time cooking and stuff like that and cleaning as well. I don't enjoy it.
No,
So
mate, never do I. Join the club.
so yeah, that's the so I'd say I do eat quite healthy. I drink a lot of water. I think
Okay.
that's really important. Because it's very easy to forget, to just drink water. Um, but yeah, I'd say meals wise, I do all right. I think I understand the whole because I used to be into the gym and the nutrition and everything. I understand that you've got to eat well for you to be able to perform to a certain level. Um, and yeah, so yeah, I'd say nutrition wise, it's not like a big part of my life, but I think I do tick the boxes on quite a lot of it.
And what you eating? You eating,
It,
you eating sort of protein, chickens and
it
fish.
might it's going to sound very boring, but it's been like this for years.
That's all right. Boring is good when it comes to nutrition.
Yeah, it's I just eat chicken and rice with broccoli, and
Wow.
I also yeah, that's what I used to eat at my parents' house, but I used to make it back in the day. So I've literally been eating that just for years.
Not for breakfast though, Scott, I hope.
No, not for breakfast.
What's the breakfast
Back in
look
the
like?
day, at the moment, it's just bagels, which isn't the best.
No. Shame be upon you.
Back in the day, though, I used to make 5-egg omelette with beans and peppers and stuff like that. Again, it's annoying for me to say because I used to be so good with it all, but that was like my main focus. Do you know what I mean? So that's why it was so good, because that's the purpose that I had in life, was to go to the gym and eat well and everything like that. That was the main focus in life. So, but yeah, I do know, like, eventually in the future, when I feel like I can relax a bit more, then I'll probably focus more on it as well and divide my time up a bit better, and focus on that. But at the moment, again, I'm still very driven like that. That's what I got to do. So yeah.
So it's bagels for breakfast, and then you're having and then chicken, broccoli, and rice 3 times a day.
No, I have chicken and broccoli and rice, and then my other meal is usually some sort of meat. I don't know what kind of meat it is. Obviously, they make it for me, and with rice or pasta.
I assume we've got a ballpark idea of what kind of meat it is. You're putting in your mouth, mate. I assume you know a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, man, that's just how life is at the moment.
Yeah, well, it sounds pretty hectic. So anything mega exciting that you can tell us that you're working on now? I don't want to infiltrate any secrets.
Something that I've been planning to do for a long time is my first exhibition. I've been asked by like a lot of galleries and stuff, like, can you come and show your artwork at our place and stuff like that. But I don't want to. I want to be quite independent about it, and I want my first showing of my work to be just all about me in a way. It's my exhibition. It's like a showcase. It's an event.
I like that.
I wanted to do it at the end of last year, but COVID kind of stopped things with that. And then I am planning for the end of this year, which the plan is I'm going to go all out with it, and I'm going to make it the best I can. I'm in talks with a hotel that's in London. That's where my first exhibition is going to be, in London. And I'm in talks with a very luxurious, very well-known hotel who hopefully will be doing the event for me. And yeah, like I said, it should be at the end of the year, but with COVID, it's difficult to say. I don't want to rush into things as much as I want to do it, and I want it to be done now. I don't want to rush it and, just for the sake of it, make it happen when everyone still has to social distance like 2 meters and stuff like that. I don't want it to be like that. So I am prepared to wait. But yeah, I'd say that's the next exciting thing that I'm looking forward to, is my first exhibition. So it should go pretty well.
Cool. Listen, Scott, I'm going to let you go. This is your break. I'm going to let you get back to your, not bagel. Is it bagel time now? Or is it?
No, I've eaten them.
Have you had your bagel? So it's time for you. It's time for your rice, broccoli, and unknown meat sauce.
Yeah.
Right, it's been great to catch up, Scott. Really big fan of your work, as you know.
Thank you, mate.
Got a few pieces off you, and I'm going to be coming to you again with a 2.5 day deadline for you to do, to do the next one. Listen, continued success. It's really interesting how you've built your model now, and how entrepreneurs like you can build a model in kind of the social media age, where, like you say, you can create Instagram profile and a page within a day, and then get going and just use that social media network. Yeah, because there's a lot of negative things said about social media, but businesses like yours and mindsets and abilities like yours, it's been fantastic, because it's opened you up to the world, kind of instantly, right, without having to do everything you used to have to do to start a business. So for someone creative like you, it's just a no-brainer. And I think there's a whole generation of people of your age and younger coming through, kind of doing amazing stuff like that, which I think is really inspiring. And I think a lot of people older could learn a lot about.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think with where you said about the negativity with social media, obviously there is some aspects to it that are negative, but if you're a creative in some kind of way, like, seriously, just use it to your advantage. Just post and then just get off it. Like, don't focus too much on it. And because that's where I think negativity is, where the negative part comes from it. whether it's because you're spending so much time on it, just scrolling, so you're not doing anything with your life kind of thing. Or also like you're looking at negative comments as well. But if you just literally go on it to do your thing, post, and then get off it, like you'll be sweet.
So that's your tip. Your tip is to firstly get started, and don't ask around complicating it. Just get started. If you've got a talent and an idea, get started, and then use social media, but don't get absorbed in the negativity and other people's kind of nihilistic comments and jealousy.
Yeah. Also, as well, don't be even if you are a perfectionist, you can't be too much, because you'll spend so much time thinking so much about like the caption of what you're going to write with the post, or whether the picture's absolutely perfect. And you know what, like, people don't care as much as you do about what you're posting. So don't spend so much time, because in the time that you've just spent to just post one time or whatever, someone else is going to like have posted like 10 things already. And do you know what I mean? Like, just get it done and then move on to the next thing.
Yep. No, I get that. Completely agree. Scott, brilliant to talk, mate. Have a fantastic day, and
Yeah, man.
continued success in your career and whatever you choose to do. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're more than welcome.